Hey guys, my name is Kaylin, and I work for the Papio-Missouri River Natural Resources District. An important part of our job at the Papio-Missouri River NRD is to protect, manage, and enhance our state's natural resources, including trees. Each year, NRDs work to plant thousands of trees across the state. We're talking about trees today in celebration of Arbor Day, a national holiday celebrating trees. Did you know that Arbor Day was started right here in Nebraska? The idea was first dreamt up by J. Sterling Morton. He was passionate about conservation and tree planting. Thus, he proposed a holiday dedicated to planting trees, called Arbor Day. The holiday was adopted and first celebrated on April 10, 1872. It's estimated that more than 1 million trees were planted in Nebraska that year alone. Today, Arbor Day is celebrated in all 50 states and several countries across the world. In Nebraska, we celebrate it on the last Friday in April, but many states and countries celebrate whenever it's the most ideal time of year to plant trees. Why might we plant trees? Why spend a whole day celebrating trees? That's right, trees provide a lot for us. Trees help keep our air clean by trapping dust and other particulates that are often unseen on their leaves and bark. They also capture carbon dioxide and release oxygen, an essential part of human life. Speaking of essentials, trees also help prevent soil erosion, holding soil in its place with their strong roots. Lastly, trees help us stay cool. The shade trees provide not only keep us more comfortable, but can also save us money by cutting costs on energy demands. Now that we've discussed a few reasons why trees are important, I'm going to put you to the test. Pull out a piece of paper and draw 3 columns, like so. Get your pencils ready. In this first column, I'll give you 30 seconds to write down 10 materials made from trees. Here are a few hints to get you started. Toothpicks, wooden desks, fences. Alright, ready, set, go! Time's up! Let's see how you did. Here's how my list ended up, but there are hundreds of things that could be on your list. Think about your day. If you woke up in a bed, if you've sat at a table, if you've used toilet paper, shampoo, makeup, or have been inside some sort of structure, whether it's be a school, apartment, gas station, or house, you've used materials made from trees. There are several things we use every day that come from trees. Another great reminder of why we celebrate Arbor Day. Let's move on to our next challenge. In the second column, we will write down 10 foods that come from trees. You will have 30 seconds to complete this challenge. Ready, set, go! Excellent work! That one was a little bit more challenging. Trees not only provide materials, but several foods as well. Here's some items I put on my list, but like materials, there are a lot of options. Check out this graphic full of foods. Have you eaten any of these recently? That brings us to our last challenge. In the third column, write down 10 Nebraska animals that rely on trees as habitats or a food source for survival. Don't forget to think about trees that are decaying on the forest floor or standing tall. You have 30 seconds. Ready, set, go! Way to go! Here's a peek at my list. There are so many animals that rely on trees for habitat, including screech owls, woodpeckers, beetles, eagles, termites, salamanders, white-tailed deer, squirrels, bats, some snake, and even frog species. While we're talking about animals who rely on trees, I thought I'd introduce you to two of our education tree frogs. These little amphibians can be found right in your own backyard, though their camouflage makes it difficult to spot them. This species of tree frog is called a Cope's gray tree frog. These little cuties spend a majority of their time in the crevices of trees in deciduous woodlands, looking for insects to feed on. By planting trees, we are providing habitat for this species. Today, we're providing each of you with a tree of your own to take home and plant. But before you get your tree, it's important to understand a little bit about how a tree functions. Let's start with the bottom, the portion you'll place in the ground. These are called the roots. They are responsible for nutrient and water absorption and support the tree, making sure it stays upright and anchored to the ground. Next is the trunk. Can you guess what the outside of the trunk is called? Its primary job is to protect the tree from weather and pests. That's right, trunks are covered in bark. As trees grow, they'll eventually grow branches, whose job is to support the leaves. The trunk allows the branches and leaves to reach higher heights to better compete for sunlight. Not all leaves look the same. Check out these two leaves. One is flat and falls off the tree every year. The other is needle-like, sharp, and hangs onto the branch for up to 4 years. But both serve the same purpose. The leaves play an important role on the tree. Do you know what it is? It's called photosynthesis. Leaves on a tree take in water, CO2, and sunlight to make simple sugars or food for the tree. The tree you are receiving today is called a Colorado blue spruce. These trees are coniferous, meaning they are cone-bearing and the leaves are needle-like rather than flat and broad. Colorado blue spruces are known for their beautiful silver, blue-green tones. This tree can grow up to 70 feet, but grows at a slow to medium rate. They provide great windbreaks and are a valuable shelter and food source for birds and other wildlife. Now go forth and plant your trees. As you pick a spot to plant, remember trees need nutrients, sunlight, water, air, and space to survive. I like to pick a spot that gets good sunlight and is at least 10 feet away from structures like homes, barns, or other trees. This will give plenty of room for the trees to grow. Follow the instructions on the bag attached. Thanks for joining us as we discovered more about trees in the home of Arbor Day. For more information about the Papio-Missouri River NRD, you can find us on all the social media platforms, or by checking out our website at www.papionrd.org.